Wow, my first show of 2019. You're listening to Up Front with Frank Rothstein on the City World Radio Network. We are also on Skies Crescent Radio, located on Spreaker.com/Skies Crescent Radio, and all of the shows on the network are there, probably me at the moment. We're also on iHeartRadio for their podcast platform, so iHeart.com. And then we are also on Radiotomy. Sounds like a medical procedure, but it's it's like we're getting in a radiotomy, but that's where I am also. And where else are we now? Are we on Spotify? Where else do you have? We're on Spotify. Are you on, where else are we? iHeartRadio. We said Spotify. Just turn on the computer. We're there. Just any old button, throw darts at the menu, and we're there. Sitting with me as always for the first time, and I haven't seen her in 3 weeks, and I don't think she missed me. It's a woman who is now updated every year, her body art tattoo reflecting the holidays. Happy 2019 to Jade Zabrick. So anyway, let me get this out of the way because it sort of sickens me a little bit. Oreo is now putting out buttered popcorn Oreos. This is cookie rape. Once again, Nabisco is raping the Oreo. All that meant to be done in life is dunked. And now that's just the way it is. If you're hearing mumblings and grumblings, it is the last show cast outside in the other room, and they're mumbling about the Oreo being butter-flavored popcorn. Oh, this is so sad. Ugh. Anyway, we do have some music for you. You know what? Let's start out with a song because it's 2019. That's the one. So I don't know. I should have gone into it right away, but I was so busy looking at Jade's 2019 tattoo that I said, you know what? I skipped over the song. Anyway, we're opening up the right way. It is a new year. We have a new show. I'll be jerking something around out here somehow with this show. Anyway, right now, we're going to kick it off with KC and the Sunshine Band. Sound your funky horn, people.
Everybody on the beat.
I needed a song right away to get things going because, well, what the hell? I needed a song right away to get things going. Okay, so one of the stories I focused on this week because I can't believe the stupidity of people around the world. And I want to get back to my Facebook page because that's where it all is. By the way, our phones are open. 646-690-2976. Oh, man, the chirping people are invading me over here. They're sensing a story. I can see it now. They want to talk, but we don't chirp. We are up front. Okay. Okay. Introduce yourself to the radio world of the next hour, please.
Hi, my name is
Hold it. Now.
My name is W.T. Rothstein Ori.
There we go. My name gets all around the world. Okay. Now, the first story I got, everybody here, I see Ian, I see
Frank.
Pat from Chirp About It. I say, I don't know your name.
We got two Rothsteins in the building.
Greg, okay. One of the first stories I noticed is there are sisters in Australia, and they are billed as the most identical sisters in the world. And, of course, I'm having a problem with the signals over here. And their mother, since they share a boyfriend, their mother wants them...
Wait.
Okay, here we
Sisters
go.
are dating the same. Who's this dude?
Well, this is
Who
a guy,
landed these two chicks?
this is a guy who's living out the guy fantasy of screwing twins. Okay, so now...
No, but mentally they're not right.
That's
like
not
those
a
chicks
fantasy.
aren't good.
Well, that's
work.
not the story. Okay, let me click into it again. This computer. That's why I'm replacing it with Adele. Okay, I got it from the Post, but it's really all over the internet. So let me read this out. Siblings dubbed the world's most identical twins, Anna and Lucie de Clinique, have revealed their mom wants them to both get pregnant at the same time with their shared boyfriend's babies. So, identical twins, same guy. Okay.
This is the mom.
This is
you
the
could hear it
mom.
from the mom.
I'm guessing
raising
he
these
has
kids.
money and he's getting that guy fantasy of twins. Okay. So now, as this goes on, the mom wants this to happen. They're falling for this bullshit. But you would have pretty much healthy children because it's not like it's incest. It's two women, really identical twins, and one guy. So now they would be listed as half sibling, half cousin. But I'm wondering, would they be born looking like twins?
You're saying if there were two kids?
If each one had a kid, let's suppose they both had the same sex.
I don't think
Two
science
girls.
works like that. I don't think the kids would look exactly the same.
Okay, there's one of you. Hold it.
Listen, I never studied genetics.
Well, neither did I.
We're going to break this down.
Okay,
Let's break it
okay.
down.
Wait, I'm moving the computer around so everybody here can see this picture. These women look, with the exception of the usual, even no matter how great the twins look identically, genetically wise, they look pretty much identical.
It's a lot of makeup.
It doesn't matter. It's equal. They look the same.
Yep.
One of you, there's only one of you,
Uh-huh.
one with each of them.
Uh-huh.
So if you have identical twins, that kind of identical, and your DNA's in the mix,
Yeah.
shouldn't the kids come out looking the same with both sisters?
I have to say one thing. I think they're dominant and recessive genes in every human being.
That's
what
true.
if one person, the recessive gene, comes out with one
Well,
mother
yeah,
and
okay.
another mother,
Well, if you
the
have-
dominant gene? So
Well
the
said,
icon
well
of
said.
If you have the dominant gene,
Uh-huh.
then the kids should look like you. But either way, whatever mix of child comes with the parents,
Yeah.
because you're mixing. If you mix oil and water, you should have the same thing happen with both cups of oil and water. If these two look exactly that kind of the same, and there's only one of you, shouldn't the kids come out looking the same?
Well, if that
what
was-
do you think?
I don't think so because
right.
there's like a million sperms and only one
Trillions,
of those
man.
sperm only one of them get through. So there's got to be a trillion different aspects and
You-
DNA
you would
material
think.
in each of his sperms. So I think there will be similarities, but I don't think they will be the same. For
No way.
instance, brothers that have the same mother. You look, are they a year apart? Do they look? I almost look just like my brother. So the DNA that came out my dad went into my mom, and if the DNA comes out my dad and goes to my mom again, why don't I look exactly like my brother?
That's true, but if your mom has a sister and they are not twins, their DNA sort of changes. Now, but these two are dead ringer twins.
Well, I think the makeup is making them more dead ringer twins.
There's
Yeah,
pic- no, there's
Yeah,
picture-
dude.
Their DNA is the same. I saw their pictures. I saw them on an interview. They are dead. You have to look for
Most
subtle-
twins are dead ringers.
No, that's not true. There are fraternal twins. There are twins that look
yes,
very much
absolutely.
alike.
So these are
but you
Siamese
can see the
twins.
difference.
Not
you
Siamese
can see.
twins, is it?
No, Siamese.
What's the one where they're connected?
That's conjoined twins, and that does not necessarily mean looking that kind of alike. But again, they are twins, and either they'll look alike or they won't. But they don't always look this kind of identical.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a there's a lot of DNA similarity going. So if I take the same recipe and I bake the same cake twice, shouldn't it come out the same?
But believe it or not,
I know,
who
there's
can
a
really
bun in
answer
the
that
oven.
question.
Yeah.
Crackhead Greg can really answer that question.
Crackhead Greg's on the phone.
But no,
Pat, come on, I know you got a
trillions,
thought over there.
trillions of seeds. They're
Pat
all different.
Sainville, who sits here making his money,
Yeah, Pat, you have to
chirping
answer this,
about
man.
everything, is saying so. Why do you stay silent on your show? Everything sounds so exciting, but when you get into my room, you sit there so quiet.
No, that isn't true. I mean, you have a panel full of people.
Come on in
I
here.
really don't know what to think about this. This is a tricky one here. So now let's get it. They do, they
Take
are
a look at
identical.
these chicks.
I'm just hearing like the
Now,
Brady Bunch music in my head, but okay, I know it's not the case.
Now this is one guy, the same dad,
Same
right?
dad.
fathering both these
You
women's child.
with two just perfectly identical twins. Shouldn't both your kids come out looking the same?
No, I don't necessarily.
And I'm only
believe
having
so.
fun with this story. This isn't
You
even
know.
this isn't being done. I don't know what's going to happen with this finally. But I was sitting there saying, "Wow, are they really twins?" I mean, they're obviously
Yeah.
going to be two screwed up kids.
Oh,
But
absolutely, no
they
question.
are half sibling, half cousin. Jade, what do you
Yeah,
think?
you're right.
You have any
know
thoughts
what?
here?
That's. It is weird. Yeah, that's incest. That's total
No, it's
incest.
no, it's not.
Well, the same dad, same father.
The same dad, but it's not like the kids are both going
Well,
with their
that's
brother or their
very
father.
true, too, yes.
This is just a guy who's
That
with
is true.
twins.
Good point. I don't believe that they'll come out identical. You
Same.
know,
I'd
love to
one,
see
one,
this.
one child may come
Gentleman's
out,
bet.
get more of the
Gentleman's
father's
bet.
genes on the father's family tree side. That's a possibility.
Greg says, "Yeah."
Greg,
why?
what do you say, crackhead Greg?
What are you thinking?
I say yeah because they're identical twins. This mic is on?
Yeah,
I say yes because it's identical twins. So if this guy's having
they
sex
are
with
not
both of them,
vaguely identical either.
Oh,
they
they're
are.
yeah.
They are like Xerox copies.
Right, so the
They-
babies,
They're like two pieces of crop.
that's what I'm talking about. So they're going to come out looking like me.
The crack are the same.
Okay.
Can't be.
So that's just the first story of my evening, and that's what I was thinking about. And it is 9:16. It's up front with Frank Rothstein. You're listening to us ramble about this insane story that's happening in Australia. And while all their surgeries make them look fairly Asian, they are really Australian. Call in. Tell me how insane I am for even thinking about talking about this. We're at 646-690-2976. Or if you want to email me and really tell me how sick I am in any language you want, upfrontfrank@gmail.com. upfrontfrank@gmail.com. I'm also broadcasting on LiveMe. I don't see Jade's phone out, so her audience doesn't like me anymore. Was somebody taking you up on the 10,000 coin gift drop for me introducing you for 55 minutes? They should have. Did you ever hear that offer, Pat?
No.
Did you ever hear me introduce Jade and all kinds of sick and okay, I told her friends with it's about a lot of gifting going on. If they gift her to the tune of 10,000 coins or like $80.
Is that money? Oh, okay.
in
Say what?
that world is just give her a big gift. I would introduce her for the whole show, introducing Jade in all those ways that I do it for 55 straight minutes, which I think would have Jade running to change her name in court, never to want to hear it again. But that's just me. What else have I got to talk about here? Oh, let's see. Well, this is sad. I'll talk about Tom Brady later. Okay, here we go. United Airlines joins Delta in banning emotional support puppies and kittens under 4 months of age. They're not trainable yet. They're not trained. They're puppies. Okay, they want. Well, people will bring in on pigs and ducks and everything. It's my
That's crazy.
support animal. I'm stressed. Well, I mean, all I want to do is sit next to someone for 5 hours traveling somewhere. Imagine if I'm flying from here to Australia a whole day, hearing.
But if someone has PTSD, and they're a vet and they've seen some crazy things and they have real issues,
And they bring an ostrich with them.
But if they bring
or
a
a
dog,
snake.
what about a dog?
Well, a dog, they won't. puppy of 4 months and younger is not likely to be. To me, that's just bullshit.
Younger than 4 months, but so older than 4 months, you could bring a dog on.
They want to get rid of it because, first of all, they're not well trained for, and they're in this captive area. They're in the seats,
So a pup, okay.
and they're crapping and they're peeing all over the plane.
Under 4 months. That's what
Anyway,
they're
and they're of the age. They had this started with smaller airlines. Now the bigger airlines are starting to get into it because what does it say over here? Chicago-based airline joins rival Delta Airlines in tightening its rules. Delta took the lead in banning young puppies and kittens last month. Get in there.
Does it cost extra? Like, do you have to buy a seat for them?
I never did. I really don't know. Now the rule changes take effect on January 7th, so today. But United said it would honor reservations made by January 3rd with the old rules. So if you bought a ticket the other day, you could still do it, which means this can actually people do buy their tickets 6 months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, if I have my my service animal Python with me. And
but there's standards here, man.
So I said,
Python.
"Oh,
like,
please! People bring
corgi,
pigs.
Python corgi.
They're bringing pigs onto the plane.
Some pigs are very nice.
I'm sure they're great,
Some
but
pigs are
still, no.
Pythons. No. That's bad.
Well, I mean, it's people get these animals. It costs next to nothing. It's pocket money to go get yourself a permit saying support animal. Doesn't cost anything.
Oh, I thought there was training and everything.
No. You can get it. I mean,
okay.
I got friends who have this license. They have the collar on. They get that red vest, and this is my service animal. And I look at the dog and I say, well, what service can this dog perform? Mm-hmm. It's too stupid. I got somebody who has. You can leave it open. I don't care. The world is my prop. I'll talk to anybody doing anything. I got a friend who has a French bulldog, Bruno. Bruno is a lovable dog. Bruno is the mayor of his block.
Yeah.
Bruno and I are the best of friends. But I don't know what Bruno could do to keep me in order when this dog just wants a belly rub.
Okay. I think
it's not like they're leading the blind, which is there are certain dogs, like I said, trained for it.
Exactly.
If you want to bring your dog into a hospital for the people, for the terminal or the kids, they are trained to do it. Yes. You can't just bring a friendly dog in. It may get stressed and snap. Correct. It's still a hospital. It still smells like a hospital. Correct. So it has to be specially trained.
Yes. So there are service animals that are trained properly.
I never saw a pig sit on command.
No, neither have I.
Okay.
I always associated that with dogs, to be honest.
But people think everything's their service animal.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is my service swan. I have to bring it in. But I also
service swan, those are aggressive.
I also have to bring in a small little tub of water so it could sit and flop. Here's my service seal. Here's my service penguin. And that's all you really... Everything is a service.
Yeah.
Maybe... Do you mind if I bring my service parrot on flight with me? But it has to fly once in a while, stretch its wings.
Oh, God.
What?
That's crazy.
Here's my service goldfish. I only have a bowl.
I don't know. I have to read up on this more because I know some people do need service animals.
Well,
some people really have
New York City's MTA has a rule. They've adopted a rule that you cannot bring a dog onto a train unless it fits in a bag. You saw that.
Yeah,
so people have new and creative ideas. Yeah, so they cut the bottom of the bag so the dog can put its paws in. Yeah. Now the bag is around the dog's trunk, and they're holding the handles. He's in a bag. And people have come up with very creative ways of using their dogs on the train. But that's just, it's just one of the stories, two of the stories that go on. As we all know, our president he's been on TV already telling us that we need another wall. I sent him to the handball courts, but he didn't think it was a good enough wall. So he's going to build it out of Legos, I guess, with 3D printed walling. Meantime, and this is where I haven't heard, we call them Trump supporters. I call them the cult. Trust me. The mothership is not coming for you because you root for the president, even though vote for anyone you want. It turns out, and this is the headline, and I got this from, where the hell did I get this thing from? From the business section of, it doesn't even say, but okay, I'll get it. Washington Post, sorry. While federal workers go without pay, senior Trump administration officials are poised to get $10,000 raises.
Wow.
Okay. Give me 1 second, and here is why this is going on. Because while everyone went out on, while the government shut down, when he was proud to do it and he owns it and it's his, then he said no. And that is because when the lawmakers failed to pass bills December 21st to fund multiple federal agencies, an existing pay freeze lapsed. And it was enacted by Congress in 2013 for top executives and was renewed each year since. But then the government shut down around Christmas. So the raises will occur because that freeze will expire Saturday, which means it has. Yeah. Oh, no, excuse me. This coming Saturday, I guess. And that means, well, people who make $179,000 making $189,000. But that's what happened. So this has just been released now by the Washington Post, but well, that's nothing new. The workers always get shafted and the bosses always get rich. So they're going to get about $10,000 raise a year. No one's going too far with it, I assure you, but that's what's going on. Thoughts?
Let's see if this shutdown keeps going for another few days, because it's approaching the longest shutdown in the history of
Either way, but
the
your
country.
thoughts on the pay raise?
It's disgusting.
Okay. Jade, what do you think? You have anything you want to think about that?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah, it's horrible.
Okay.
I mean, they should just give it back. I don't know. They're not going to do that.
No, they will. No, they will not.
It's,
Nobody gives back a raise.
No.
It would be pretty cool if they did, and I don't know why, but even though I killed the volume on my computer, it went on. I can't wait for my new computer to come in because I never liked this one. And listen, that's just the way it is. The world is a sick place. That's why I play a lot of music.
Hell yeah.
And when I start hearing too much bullshit in my day, I turn off my phone, I put my headphones on, and I blare it. And anything in my head, if I cannot sleep at night, I'm a big ZZ Top fan. Or
nice.
if you take any metal band, if anything in my head wants to sit there while ZZ Top is blaring away, knock yourself out. So that's the story about that. How was all your holidays?
It was good. Went down to my wife's in-laws, and that was nice. Spent a long time there. It was one of the most relaxing points of my year, to be honest.
I put in the minutes with the family, Jade.
yeah, I went to D.C. Saw my mom.
I was in D.C. too.
Oh, really?
Falls Church outside of D.C.
I was in Alexandria.
Nice.
Which is, no.
You two were in D.C. at the same time.
We were. I had no idea you were down there.
No, I was in Arlington. What's that? Yeah.
Close to Arlington.
Which is,
Falls Church is
yeah.
10 minutes away.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What other stories have I got here before I start going into music? Billions of dollars are pouring into the digital health system, the internet, but Americans are still getting sicker and dying younger. This comes from CNBC, and it says venture investors are chasing digital health companies that promises to improve care and lower costs. Experts give their take on why it's not working. Okay, Silicon Valley has spent years promising to disrupt the $3.5 trillion healthcare industry. In 2018, venture investors from the Bay Area, Boston, and elsewhere poured billions of dollars into that sector, funding startups that aim to bring down the costs of care while improving quality and access to the right providers. One thing, well, yeah, but I've often said anything you can create, the internet will destroy.
Yeah.
And that is also falling into healthcare. There's an app for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the most obvious explanation is that the technologies are still young. Most of the investing in digital health started 5 to 7 years ago. Before that, many doctors were still using pen and paper for documentation. It takes time to get the industry on board. But also, one of the reasons people are still getting sicker and dying younger is, well, there's still a lot of addicts ODing out there. There's still the random accident or 20. You have kids getting... Well, they're becoming more obese earlier in life because all they do is sit home with their technology playing one game or another. And, yeah, things have changed as time went on. Not that I want to sound old because I'm not, but I remember one ball could entertain 20 kids. and we played punch bowl. We played any other game, and kids do not get out that fast. I don't understand why there's an 8-year-old who needs a $700 phone, but there is.
And it's happening younger and younger, too.
There is, and they're texting. I don't know what they're texting people, but they're texting. All right. Ian, thank you for hanging in. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, man.
See you next time. And if you hear about the twins, if you see a couple of twins looking for a date, go.
Oh, let's wait till they get pregnant and they
Don't
get
get the twins pregnant.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm married.
And that is what's happening. A lot of kids are sitting home drinking their soda or their whatever drinks. All I remember is I knew something was wrong when you saw people drinking their Gatorade years ago as they woke up in the morning. You got to put it back, even though you haven't done crap yet, but you got to put it back. And it's important for kids to get out there. They don't need an app to monitor their health. It's important for kids to go out there and get a little beat up and cut up and come home crying that they're hurt. It's not the end of the world. It's the obligation of every young child to get beaten up by a bigger kid. You're supposed to. That's your job until you become the bigger kid. Then you too can kick some half-size ass. But that is what's happening. And there are a lot of kids who are ODing one reason or another. And this is what's going on in the world. Is there anything? I could read more of this, but it just tells you how the money is being spent. But if you're looking for an app to tell you what to medically do with yourself, you are wasting your time. There is no way to have... If I read Grey's Anatomy, the most basic book of the medical practice, if I read and committed to memory the entire book of Grey's Anatomy and every other book in the medical and pharmaceutical community, and I memorized every bit of information, that does not make me a doctor. I have no practical experience putting it together. It doesn't mean because you read or you memorize something, it doesn't make you a doctor. Jade is a musician. If I pick up her guitar and I start making it make noise, even if she teaches me how to and I memorize how to play a song, that does not make me a musician. It just means I learned how to make noise and I learned how to play a song, and that's all it means. It does not mean that all that crap. As I said, 646-690-2976. Don't worry about the app. Go talk to your doctor, go see your pharmacist, and ask real questions. In the meantime, I want to play a real song. 1 second. Let me decide on what that's the perfect one, because I printed up stuff on this. So in 1969, we all know that the Beatles released Hey Jude. But also in 1969, the late Wilson Pickett, the great Wilson Pickett, was in the South one day, and he goes into a studio. Let me read it as it's, and he just goes into a studio, but he has nothing prepared. He wants to record something, but there's nothing prepared, and he doesn't have his band. But there's Duane Allman of the Allman Brothers. But there's Duane Allman, who says, "Let's record Hey Jude," and the Beatles had just released it, so that sounded crazy, but they did it anyway. And it wound up on an album, and this is how it came out. This is Wilson Pickett backed up by Duane Allman and Hey Jude.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her in your heart, then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude.
That was Wilson Pickett and the late, well, they're both late, Wilson Pickett and Duane Allman. Duane Allman was a fantastic musician who went way too young in life. But it happens. It happens. Tragedy always happens. So I was looking at the BBC News site today, and an article punched up saying making better use of surgeons flipping burgers. And that what that is that it says migration remains one of the most international political dividing lines, with arguments about controlling borders and pressures on local services. Okay, it says, but a report from the United Nations warns that once migrants have arrived, host countries often fail to make use of their talents. Now, the reason the headline is what it is, making better use of surgeons flipping burgers, is because when you go to another country and you're a doctor, you are not anymore. Your license doesn't apply internationally that way. And it says UN published an analysis showing only 30% of migrants with degrees in graduate level jobs. It comes ahead of the UN convention this year that aims to make it easier for migrants to use their skills and work experience in new countries. Okay, and there's a quote here. Stories of immigrant doctors who are cab drivers or surgeons who are flipping burgers bring to light how much potential is being wasted the world over. And it's true. Look, I know a woman who's from Poland, who's a doctor in Poland. When she got here, she was waiting tables in the coffee shop. And I don't know if I think her license in Poland lapsed, and I don't think she renewed it here. I think she got a little disgusted. It was taking so long for her to get status. And that's just what it is. People come, just because you're from another country doesn't mean you don't have talent. It doesn't mean you can't do this or that. And that is what happens. And there are plenty of people who come here into America who are not doing what they do best, no matter what it may be. And unfortunately, that is the case. And that's just what I was reading. It came across today. There's lack of recognition. It's almost like something has to happen where you have to spring into action just to do like an emergency, and all of a sudden people see what you could do. And people think visually. And if someone comes into the country and they don't look like what you would expect a doctor to look like, what you would expect one job or another to look like, people don't think you can do it so fast. People think visually. If you don't look like what they expect, you can be thought of as unintelligent, unable, unwilling, and it's not the case. There are a lot of talented people in the room, and people do not take the time to search for that, to look for it. But anyway, that's a story that came out on the BBC today, so I thought I would talk about it for a few minutes. And what else is going? Oh wow, I saw this a little while ago. I didn't have a chance to print it up, so bear with me. Sears saved from bankruptcy again, but a bankruptcy judge is giving the Sears CEO Eddie Lambert, and it says they're giving Sears is 126 years old, and they're getting a little more time. But I'm looking at this picture of one of the closed Sears locations. This is really sad. Because Sears, when you go, it's not a small store. It's like a hangar. And like an airport hangar. Wow, this is empty. This looks really sad. Bankruptcy judge is giving Sears chairman Eddie Lambert another chance to buy the department store chain out of bankruptcy and save roughly 50,000 jobs. Sears on Tuesday had planned to tell the bankruptcy court it had rejected Lambert's $4.4 billion offer to buy the retailer after it fell short of covering its bankruptcy expenses. Well, this has been an old story. I know there's auctions going around. They have to pay a $120 million deposit by 4 p.m. Wednesday, and it's a mess. Sears has been around a long time. Between mismanagement and people don't shop retail as much, things change. Things just change. So I was listening to some music the other day, And I don't know. I was looking at Paste Studios I was on YouTube, and I tripped over Paste Studios, and there's a woman who's been singing a very long time, and I thought I'd play one of her songs, and this is Erin Costello, "Oh Me Oh My."
Oh me, oh my man, didn't hesitate. Oh, not a fool for fate. Oh, he just take my hand. I didn't understand. Oh me, oh my guy. Oh, his faults were for you. But I've got one or two that have made me cry, like telling him goodbye. Maybe if it all works out, we can get a two-bedroom house with a king-size bed and a spare room there for guests. Oh, but it didn't last. Oh me, oh my heart. Oh, it missed the signs. He showed all the time. It ain't that smart. And now it's torn apart. Maybe if it all works out, I'll live what all the songs are about. And the melody won't be playing in rewind. He would know what's on my mind. Oh me, oh my, 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 oh me, oh my.
That was Erin Costello. I really enjoyed that song. She's an incredible singer. Where's your song? I hear you got a song out there somewhere. I heard it in the grapevine. No, it's not the song. She's not covering. I heard it through the grapevine. But Jade released another song a couple of months ago and kept it pretty quiet. Most musicians are shouting from at the cliche, the rafters, "I have a song!" But not Jade's secretive that way. I found out. I used the peephole to the radio. I found out. What is the name of this thing? Tell Me Who You Really Are. All right. In that case, I will give it a little more flair of an introduction. This is our very own Jade Zabrick with Tell Me Who You Really Are.
In my thoughts and dreams, you and I were just you are everything and everything else, and you are good to me. You live on faithfully. You are everything that I wish that I could be. Up in front, headlights, preaching wrong and right. You gathered ashes, you blocked off the flashes, and you are wonderful, giving me all the world in bits and pieces, so I could create the more. So well and loud, your secrets out. Oh, please tell
That was our very own Jade Zabrick playing her newest song. How did you like it? That's what I want to know. Write to me at upfrontfrank at gmail.com. Tell me how you liked it. And, well, as we were talking about James Bond the other week, about people wanted a black James Bond. That's what happens when you're off for 3 weeks. You trip over your own tongue. Now, as people wanted a black James Bond, a gay James Bond, a short James Bond, now there are transgender activists that are pushing hard for a trans James Bond. Well, no, I'm sorry. Write a character. Just write a character. Again, I said this last time. James Bond is a British murdering, womanizing secret agent who drinks screwed up martinis. Anybody can be 007. If James Bond retired or died or just gave it up and, moved in with Pussy Galore somewhere, then you need a new 007. Someone's got to fill the position. Then you can hire a trans character and create a new character. Stop. Inclusion is great, but include everybody. But be creative about it. Be creative. That's all I got to say. And that's that story. That's enough. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. What else is going on here? I'm going to play a couple more songs. Well, actually, I'm going to play. Yeah, I'm going to get off of here. Let me see. Which song do I want to play? You know what? We'll save that one for the next time. Play number 5. Because I'm going to get out. We're going to play one more song, and I'm going to get out because we're about done. And I'm going to let you have it. You ready? Okay, good. So, one of my favorite organizations for music is Playing for Change. And that's the organization that wants to spread the love of music around the world for children. And they do many songs internationally. So like artists all around the world record the song, then it's edited the right way so it looks like everybody is playing it live around the world. I would really like it live around the world with a million, but that's another story. Anyway, I'm going to get out, and I'm going to leave you with Playing for Change as they cover the Doobie Brothers. Listen to the music. Everybody, I'm glad I'm back. I hope everyone had great holidays. I'll bring back my new computer next week, and for now, I leave you with a good night.
like a lazy flowing river. Set on the dancers in the sky.
And the crowd is growing bigger. Listen to the happy sounds, and I'm gonna let them flow.
Listen to the music. Listen to the music. All the
It's enough money.
We just went from PG to X.
What's good, everybody? What is up? We are back. That is right. It's the Can We Not podcast. We in this bitch. That is right. With me, your host, Evan Cumbest, and my two co-hosts we have.
Okay.
And
Kenneth.
And guys, we have our friend of the show with us today also. So shout out to him.
The one, the only.
Stefan.
Yeah, buddy. AKA Panda.
Panda Man. Panda
well,
Man.
no, it's wintertime.